Wendigo.
All right. Uh, Good morning. Good morning. We got Bob Digital in the building, and we got Cali Wagers in the building today for College Football Saturday. Welcome back to Plug Talk, guys. Appreciate you guys all being here. Bob, thank you for showing up today. I really do appreciate it. And
Okay.
Callie, I'm pretty sure you can hear me, Callie, but I appreciate you coming as well. I know it's super early for you guys, but man, I appreciate it really. So we got a pretty good card today, man. It's a tough card. So luckily you guys, got us here to help you guys with this card because it's even a tough card for me. It is very, very tough to navigate this card, but I think I got some pretty good looks, man. As a recap of yesterday, guys, I'm just on fire right now. I ain't going to try to sugarcoat it. I tell you guys when I'm good, I tell you guys when I'm bad. Right now, I'm just on fire. So it's been a really good few days. The entire team, the whole VIP is on fire right now, and I'm not expecting this weekend to be any different. So definitely ready to make some money this weekend, man. Bob, how did you do yesterday, and how's your week going, man?
Oh, actually, I did have a bet yesterday. I had some Georgia State. They got in the back door. Felt pretty fortunate on that one against UConn. Otherwise, and that was all I played yesterday. So okay week overall. I had some New Mexico State earlier in the week, but yeah, Georgia State was nice. Fortunate last night.
Love it, man. Love to hear it,
Oh, I
bro.
had the Jets on Thursday, so yeah, really good week.
Yeah, bro, the Jets. I can't believe that, man. Oh my god. I was on the other side, but I didn't bet the game. I had one play in that game, and that was Stroud's rushing yards over 9.5. That was literally my only bet. But I was on the other side, so great call on the Jets, man. Great call. Callie, man, good morning, bro. Appreciate you being here. How'd your night go, or just your week in general?
It's been pretty good. Went 3-1 yesterday. Um, we were a point away from a sweep. Would have been 10-0 for NBA season so far, but the Wolves blew that thing early in the fourth quarter and couldn't quite come back to cover the four. But had the Thunder last night, had the Celtics last night, and yeah, it's been nice. We're 9-1 to start the NBA season, and had the Jets. As much as I told you the other day, I didn't feel good about it for the whole game. They won, and I still didn't feel good about it. But had the
Yeah.
Jets, and then today will be interesting. Should be fun. We got our biggest play of the year for college football today. So
Oh
Nice.
shit. Are you selling that play singly, like single?
yeah, I'm selling it today, and then every VIP play today I'm including free with it for anybody that buys it. So
Dude, there you go. You guys heard it. Biggest play of the year from Cali today, man. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I don't know if you guys know this, but Cali hits a lot of his max plays. He sends them to me a lot of the times, so I personally know. All right. Well, we ain't gonna waste any more time, man. We only got about an hour to do this. Well, that's how long we got Bob Digital with us. And I definitely want to hear his opinion on every game. So I'm not gonna wait around anymore. We're just gonna get started, man. I appreciate everyone being here. James, good morning, man. As always, showing up. I appreciate it. Um, and everyone else that's in here listening right now, I appreciate it. Let's get started, guys. Um, First game on the board today, we're going to be talking about, obviously, is probably the game of the day that everyone is pretty excited about. And that is Ohio State and Penn State. So we are in Penn State for this game. It looks like we got a plus 130 for Penn State here at home, getting 3 points. That was my first surprise. I know a lot of people are like, why are you surprised Ohio State is favored over Penn State? I was because they're at home. But you got Ohio State laying 3 points here. It's at a minus 155. We got a total of 47.5, guys. All right, so this game is very tough for me. I would love to hear y'all's opinion on it. I'm not betting this game. I'm going to rock with Ohio State first half. I did an article. You can find the article over at theoutlet.sv.com. I gave out Ohio State on the regular spread at the 3.5. I think I gave 2.5 in the article. But I'm going to give you guys Ohio State first half in this one and go back on what I said with the article. Penn State is a second half team. We've seen it last week. We've seen it all year from Penn State. They are a great second half team. Now, what is the situation with Allard? Do you guys know?
Game time decision still, I think.
Is that what you got,
The
Bob?
market is very yeah, game time decision officially, but like how the market's moving very strongly suggests that Aller's a go. And that news started to trickle and kind of match some news you got Thursday with some practice reports, all that. Like you saw the over get bet after initial move under to back to the, open 47.5, went down to 45 now and back up to 47.5. And then 3.5 went to 3 on Thursday afternoon, kind of coinciding with that.
Okay, perfect. All right. So with him being a game time decision, but obviously, as you know, we just got the numbers. It does, and I kind of figured he was a go. But it still comes down to Ohio State has had a weak schedule, and the one step up game, at least what I consider a step up game they had, they struggled. It just I don't know, man. Like, they I think Ryan Day, honestly, guys, could be on his farewell tour in Columbus. That's just me personally. But here I'm going to back Ohio State. I think they're favored for a reason. I don't like going against Penn State at home, but I have to go with Ohio State here. I'm going to lay the points. I like the first half as well, but like I said, I'm not going to bet this game. Bob, how about you, man? How you feeling about this one?
One of the obviously the best game of the day, and I kind of want to start with the number and all that. So, well, actually, I'll start with injuries. You mentioned Alar. We do think he's going to go. Pretty confident in that. Was a leg injury. He's mobile-ish, like he can move. He's not a statue, but that's not a big part of his game. So we'll see how it affects him. Maybe planting, taking advantage of OSU's man coverage on the outside. I think the bigger injuries are on the other side of the ball. Ohio State left tackle Justin Simmons got hurt in the Oregon game a few weeks back. He's not going to play. They had a backup last week who, quite frankly, is not that good. He left the Nebraska game. He's not going to play. So now you're going to shift around offensive linemen. So it's either going to be a third string or you're going to shift around two positions, which can weaken two positions at the same time. Against a Penn State defensive line and Abdul Carter, who's quite frankly really good. So that's like an interesting matchup. We're not great facing pressure. And the Ohio State running game against Nebraska last week, 20 rushing attempts between Henderson and Judkins, obviously outstanding running backs, 2.7 yards per carry in those 20 attempts. So the offensive line which was a concern preseason for the Buckeyes, rearing its ugly head here in a game against, Nebraska's solid. Like they're a top 40-ish team, despite, so that's quite interesting to me there. The numbers interesting to me. Obviously, I kind of mentioned already Ohio State or Penn State taking a little bit of money off the Aller News earlier in the week. A couple weeks ago, earlier this month, we had Ohio State on the road against a big-time team, Oregon. What was the number? The same. Ohio State -3, 3.5, depending on where you looked. So you kind of have a Penn State, Oregon. How do you feel about those two teams? Do you feel better about one of those two teams? Now, of course, factor in Alar's injury, factor in the left tackles. But I don't have a play on the game. It's something I'm going to look live to. I want to see how Penn State's defensive line is, handling Ohio State's offensive line, all that. So I'm going to look to play it live, slight lean under on the 47.5, maybe under in the first half. But those would just be soft leans for me.
I agree. I can't get there to pull the trigger. Yes, I got my opinions on this game as well. But for me to actually pull the trigger on this game, it is super tough. I think a live bet or a live view of just waiting and seeing is probably the best way to go about this. Callie, do you got a I know you got an opinion for this game. Ohio State playing Penn State.
Yeah, I took Penn State with the hook at 3.5 just when it was available, purely just from a numbers standpoint. I really didn't want to play it, but I just think too much right now is in favor of the Nittany Lions. I mean, on top of the fact you're playing at home, it's going to be quite an interesting game. Ohio State with as big of injury issues as I've ever had. And what's funny is, a lot of people look at the Penn State side of things in terms of quarterback injury. But I'll be honest with you, Prabula came in and played pretty well after Aller anyways last week. That was the least of my concerns. The Ohio State side is really what has been an issue. And I think a lot of this is bookmakers saying, hey, you know what? Every time Penn State plays a big team, what do? They lose. You know what I mean? They're a terrible team against top matchups. But to me, I think that this injury issue with Simmons and then now with, I think, McClaskey, is huge. They can't protect the quarterback, running at an all-time low right now. Henderson and Judkins right now are, really nice. But as you had mentioned, I think 2.6 yards a carry last week against Nebraska, and now you're going against a defense that's vastly better. I got big concerns for Ohio State, so I did take Penn State 3.5.
All right, I'm not mad at you. I would love to see, honestly, speaking about live bets, I would love to see Ohio State come out here and, be up by like a touchdown or two
Yep.
and us get some really good points with Penn State for the second half. I think that would be beautiful.
Big issue I have too is the third down targets with what Ohio State has as well. I mean, you lose Harrison last year, and you've obviously got tons of talent, but who's going to step up and truly be that guy? This is that kind of game where you need that guy like a Harrison who's going to be someone who can hit you for maybe a 6 yard on third down or can go over the top. And I just don't know right now, especially with the lack of ability to run the ball, that this deep threat is going to be there today. And obviously, we know what happens at home in the Big Ten, let alone any bigger major conference, and it should be a wild one.
Yeah, it's a good game to start the day for us,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. Kevin, good morning, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. Mike, man. Mike, good morning. Appreciate you being here as well. All right, on this beautiful college football Saturday. All right, we're going to move on to the next game. We are going to scoop past the Duke and Miami game. I think Miami absolutely runs over them today, but that's just my opinion. But we're going to go to the Air Force and Army game. We got Army coming in as a 21.5 point favorite here. You got a total of 40.5. You got Air Force getting 21.5 points. And man, I know there's some, older heads out there, older bettors that are probably looking at this game and their eyes are lighting up when they see Army. I mean, when they see a game like this with Air Force getting so many points. When we talk about, these Commander in Chief games, guys, they bring out the absolute best in these teams, right? They really do.
I actually we gotta go on this game right now. Apologies. I just got
Go ahead, you're good.
I just got some information. It sounds like Bryson Daly, the quarterback for Army, news is starting to hit the market that is potential that he is out for today. Kind of sneaky. The under just got bet in that game from 41.5 down to 40.5. It's moving while we're on air here.
I saw that point moved right now.
Yeah, and Circa and a couple other places are going to 21. So again, sorry to interrupt, Plug, but I just wanted to get this.
No, hell yeah, I'm glad you did.
I'm actively betting Air Force. I got a 41 and 21.5. Like I'm actively betting it right now.
Yeah,
just FYI. So
yeah, if Daly's not playing, I'm jumping ship. Literally.
Yeah, my local just pulled it off the board right now.
Yeah, it's same. So yeah, I'm getting so live on the air. I'm hearing that Daly could be out for Army, which is just absolutely huge.
Humongous. That is ridiculous. So that kind of blows everything out that I kind of had to say here about Army, because I was on Army with Daly. But obviously this is just humongous news. And I can't, with something like that, I cannot lay these points. I will obviously be looking for Air Force in this game now. These service academy games, really do, like I was saying, commander in chief games, whatever you want to call them. They really, well, this is a commander in chief game, but you guys get what I'm saying. They bring out the best in these teams, these service academies, and I do think obviously with that news it just changes the dynamic of the game immensely. Uh I would go and grab that 21 and a half. My book has the game closed. But as soon as it comes up, I'm probably going to be taking Air Force. If you guys can get that 21 and a
Yeah.
half, that's where I would go.
I just sent another text. He might dress, but he's very unlikely to play. This game's going to close. My guess probably like 17 and like 37, somewhere around there.
I just got it on my local. It just opened at 20 and a half, so I hit it at 20 and a half too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like anything over 17 to me is good.
Yeah, it definitely.
Yep. I'm thinking it's going to probably close around like you said, probably 18, 17, somewhere around there.
Real quick, and we won't get off two track, but you know that this game has flipped 40 points from last year's spread.
That I have that written down actually as a note for
more
me.
Than 42, depending on the book. That's the biggest ever, I think.
Yeah, that's huge.
So I actually looked this up because my buddy of mine is an Indiana fan. Indiana is going to do it in 2 weeks. Michigan closed. I believe it was. I sent him a text on it, so don't quote me on it. I believe it closed 32.5 last year. Michigan favored against Indiana, and I think FanDuel had a look ahead on IU Michigan that had IU like 10. So that's going to be like right around 42, like 42-point flip.
God.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And I rode the Air Force train hard the last few years, so it kills me when I have to sit there. So I'm happy to hear this news. I'll gladly jump on Air Force.
So will I. Wait. That's just huge. Do you guys got anything you want to add to this game? Obviously, that is humongous news.
Yeah,
it changes the way I look at this game completely.
No,
that blindly takes me onto Air Force.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that just you see the market move like this, and it's something where you don't overthink it. You take the number. It's going to be way different when the game starts at noon, and then you're like, okay, I'm in good. Even if the result is bad, you have a good process here. So it kind of takes the thought out of it a little bit. There's not really much more analysis to take. Here when you're going to likely get multiple points of closing line value here. This is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what this comes down to, man. It's just the closing line value is just ridiculous on this one now. And Daly being out or possibly being out is just it like you said, bro, it kind of takes out all the guesswork for me. I'm just like, yeah, we're riding with the points here. All right, I love it. Let's keep it moving. We'll keep you guys updated if we do get like actual confirmation that he's out. But
Samuel will be waiting on it like normal.
Right. But I'm telling y'all right now, Bob is on point when it comes to college football. So, all right, we got Minnesota and Illinois, I believe, is our next game here, guys. We got Minnesota and Illinois. You got Minnesota coming in. They are laying 2.5 points in this game on the road. Illinois getting 2.5. We got a total of 46.5 here. Minnesota on the money lines at a -142, and you got Illinois at a +120. So Illinois coming in, I believe they're 6-2, something like that. But either way, I was leaning Illinois here. I think it's a good spot for them at home, but Minnesota is this defensive team that just strives on it. They love their defense, and their defense is going to show up today. And I know that. We all know that. They are also, they're going to control the ball. I can just say it. They're going to control the ball with offense here. Flegg is going to try to just push this game out as long as he can. Illinois' defense is not terrible, and I think they can actually match this Minnesota defense a little bit. And I think it's going to be the difference in this game. I do want to take the points in a lower scoring game, but I kind of feel like the under is probably the safer play. So I'm going to go ahead. I like the points, but I think the under is a much better game. I'm looking for 34, 35 points, somewhere like that. I think this is way under the number. So I'm going to take the under 46.5 here. I'm not even going to question myself on it. Bob, you got anything for this one?
I played Minnesota small on the money line. I got an off-market number, minus 140 at the time a little bit yesterday. I haven't been impressed with Illinois. I still have them rated pretty low. As far as power numbers, still concerns on the defensive line. I think Minnesota's offense is improving. I actually do kind of lean over as well, but the numbers gotten away a little bit there. So now I'm just neutral on it. So I played Minnesota small. I do think Brosmer's been an improvement over Callie McManus, who's been at Rutgers this year. And I'm not huge on Illinois. I think their season's been a little bit fugazi.
Yep, 100%. I agree.
But not one of my favorite bets or plays for the day.
Yeah, definitely. Callie, what do you got for this one, man?
I have Illinois teased up in a combo play that's going still. I got them earlier in the week at, I think it was 9.5. So I felt that the game would be fairly close. I've had Illinois a couple times this year. I've liked what I've seen. I mean, it hasn't been visually appealing, but pocket wise, it's worked out all right. So I do think the number is just a little bit too high. Minnesota hasn't impressed me enough to win by 2 scores with that number.
All right. Perfect. Let's move on. Yo, guys, if I skip any games that you guys want to talk about, please tell me and we'll go back and talk about it, okay? I have absolutely no problem doing that at all. So because we are about to make a jump here into a different time slot. So
you're gonna skip Stanford and NC State? How dare you?
I know.
Although it's nice to get to watch a Stanford game at 9 a.m. here.
We got Oregon and Michigan next. We're in the 3:30 time slate. Oh, that goes for the listeners as well. You guys can put it in the comments if you guys want a game that we didn't talk about. If you guys want us to talk about a game, please put it in the comments. We'll be more than happy to talk about it. All right, so heading over to Michigan. We got Oregon laying 14.5 points here. On the road, you got Michigan at home getting 14.5 points. Got a total of 45 here. It looks like it's slightly favored to the over. Yep. And Michigan as a big home dog like this, guys. This season, I'll say this season has really just kind of ran away from Michigan here. They simply beat on bad teams and get beat on by the good teams. It's just what we've seen. But when is the last time you guys have seen Michigan as a dog like this at home? I can't remember. Maybe you guys know, but I don't.
I heard it this week. It's been like 3 times since like 90, like since like the century, and it's all to Ohio State in like the big Ohio State years.
Right. Like,
so this is the first time it's not against Ohio State in like many years.
Yeah, dude. Like I don't think I ever can remember Michigan being this big of a dog. When I seen this number, I automatically gravitated to Michigan. I mean, I kind of like Michigan here, guys. It's not my favorite game on the board, but I don't want to sit here and act like Michigan don't have a good defense. And I also don't want to sit here and act like this Oregon is not they're a very weak number one in my opinion. I'll say that. They are a very weak number one in my opinion. The one thing that stopped this from being a VIP play for me, y'all, The one thing that stopped it from Michigan being a VIP play for me was that damn Dan Landing, who is now fucking 11-0 as a road favorite and 9-2 against the spread. Right, so that really put the pumps on my brakes, or put the foot on the brakes here on me giving this to my people. Um, Also, you got to look. They are also beating teams by what 25 plus, I believe. I mean, Oregon has just been taking no prisoners. I just feel like this is a weak number one. I feel like this is way too many points. I honestly think that Oregon might have a good chance of getting upset here. So I think they could possibly get upset here. So I'm going to look at Michigan. I just can't pull the trigger on it. But I'm definitely going to take the points. So that's where I'm at with this one.
Do you think that? Do you think how many points do you think Michigan can score to cover this number? How many points do they need to score to cover this number?
Yeah,
Because
I
if they're
think
in comeback mode,
yeah, I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, Bob. I
okay,
really do. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking that because, like I said, we can't act like Michigan's defense is not going to show up. I understand Oregon can put up points, but I can honestly see this coming down to the wire in like a 2020 game type deal,
yeah.
21-20 type game type of deal, and literally coming down to a Michigan field goal pulling it out.
My cap on this game, and it's a game I'm not playing on my end, but my thought was if I were to bet Michigan, again, it's how many points do I think they can score? We've seen their offense be anemic all year.
It's horrible.
Is Michigan plus 14.5 better, or is Oregon's team total under better? Because for Michigan to cover 14.5, like if Oregon scores 30, like I don't think Michigan's covering this number. So, because Oregon could win this game 24-3, in a sense, 24, 24-7, something in that range, where they covered this number and still go under. So that was my initial thought of handicap, but it's not a game I'm personally playing.
Yeah, so I mean, we both can agree on the under then here. I really do believe the under is a play in this one. I do think the under is probably a good play here. Callie, man, how are you feeling about this one? You think are you gonna you think Michigan can pull an upset here, Callie?
As long as Oregon can stop the run, they should win by 3 touchdowns. Michigan has no way to keep up offensively unless they can run the ball with some success. I mean, how many times has Michigan accidentally scored a touchdown over 20 yards? Oregon does it 4 times a game. Huge deal for them as well. Oregon does not play in the Big House. This is new for so many features. It's going to be a huge deal for them as well.
Yes.
I think that getting past that Ohio State game is really changed the season, and the fact that, hey, we think we're going to be good. We've now beat that. We've jumped that hurdle. It's a straight shot through now. And yes, Michigan has changed. Obviously, things are different this year, but they're still the same Michigan team to an Oregon team that's not traveling to Ann Arbor. It's going to be a wild environment, which I think Oregon plays better under, quite frankly. They're used to that kind of crazy scene. And I just think too much Dylan Gabriel, too much with that running game. And where does Michigan keep up? If they go down, turn the ball over early after an early Oregon score, how are they going to make up points? I mean, if they're going to have to start throwing the ball, it could get ugly quick, which scares me on the total. But I do like Oregon to cover the number. I teased that. I'm not a big tease guy, but the numbers this week fit it. So I teased Oregon down. I got them at 7 actually earlier this week. So I thought that seemed very reasonable. And I am an Oregon guy. I've got tickets on Oregon to win the Big Ten and win the whole thing. So obviously I'm a little biased with it, but prove me wrong. If they're the weakest one, and maybe this is the weakest year overall. I mean, look what happened to Texas, who we thought was unstoppable last week. So, things are all over the place. And right now, offense seems to be as important as defense. And things felt differently in years past, I think. So I like where the Ducks are right now.
Yeah, and another point is Will Johnson out for Michigan. I think he's more so preparing for the draft than
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
actually
this
hurt.
year.
Business decision.
Right, and outside of him, that secondary is gettable. So
Yeah.
that's another point, in Oregon's favor.
All right, all right. I might not pull the trigger here. You guys are making some really good points, and I know it's a bold take to begin with. Very bold take to begin with. Um, but we've seen crazier things, but I'm definitely going to kind of pull back. You guys kind of saved my ass
The,
on
the,
NFL last week as well with
the thing
one.
I
So
would say real quick too is you look at who's back there, and Gabriel's already played in wild environments for how many, like 25 years in college. I mean, this is nothing new to him. Oklahoma
right,
every week, that was life and death in that state if you win or lose football. I mean, playing in Michigan is not going to be some big step up for somebody like this, where maybe you look at Michigan first half or first quarter because you just figure there's going to be some hesitation and some nerves, and there might be, but with the way Oregon's offense runs, I think that takes away a lot of the thinking because they can just gash you in so many different ways, with depth and running vertically. It's too much to handle. It's a nightmare for a defensive coordinator.
yep. And this line is not even reflecting anything about Oregon being even slightly affected by the big house. Like, I
Nope.
mean, I was very shocked when not shocked, but I was kind of taken away just because, I do college football every single year. And we all know the whole narrative behind Michigan and home, right? So when I seen this number, I automatically was like, holy shit. But
And it
it
was
is what it is.
2017 was the last time this was the spread was this big. Anytime
Yeah, see,
last time they were
that
double
was,
digit dogs, not even 14. I couldn't even find
yeah.
14, but yeah, 2017. So it's been a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man. All right, let's move on to the next one, man. Next game we're about to make. We're not skipping a time frame, but we are skipping some big games. So if there is anything you guys want to talk about, please let me know. We are heading to Florida State here. We got UNC taking on Florida State. So North Carolina is coming in as a 2.5 point favorite in this game. Florida State is getting 2.5. We got a total of 50.5 in this game. Pretty big total here. We got North Carolina minus 142 on the money line. We got Florida State plus 120. Uh, Look, I'm gonna kind of just hold my nuts on this one and take Florida State here. I'm gonna take the points. Florida State is definitely one of the most disappointing teams in the country, and that's not even a question. And I understand that. I mean, they have scored. I can't tell you the last time I seen this team get over 20 points. Um, the Seminoles have major question marks in a lot of positions, but the worst one for me is quarterback. I get it. Believe me, I get it. I'm going to be hanging on to my nuts this game. I might not even get to the window on it, but UNC's defense is awful. Okay. It is awful. They have gave up 30, 34, 35 or more points in, I don't know, at least three of their last five is what I'm looking at right now on this schedule. Three of their last five, they've gave up 34 or more points, man. I'm telling y'all, I think that if Florida State is going to pull one out, this could be it. North Carolina did get a win last week against Virginia. They're coming off of that, but they have been bad. Like, this team has been bad. And if they would have lost to Virginia last week, maybe I'll be singing a different tune. But I actually like North Carolina coming off of that big win, coming in here to play Florida State with their head held high. I think Florida State punches them in the mouth, man. I'm on Florida State here. Bob.
Nope, no strong opinion for me on this one. I do think neutral on this game, and I kind of agree with the handicap on Florida State a little bit because we have seen some offensive improvement from them since they went to Brock Glenn away from DJU a few weeks back. Don't get, North Carolina has also been really disappointing this year. They have a very easy schedule throughout the year. Juggled some quarterbacks, had some injuries at the position. They're down to their third one. So, they have also been very disappointing. I'm a little bit concerned about the UNC pass rush versus the Florida State offensive line. That would be like a point to keep me off the game a little bit there. But I have seen that improvement. We saw that in the Duke game, a game they should have won, Florida State. That was when I kind of decided to step up and take Florida State there. They just got destroyed in the turnover battle and still lost by 7 in that game. A game they dominated, a lot of that game, but lost the turnover battle. So I guess a little lean to Florida State. I won't convince you off it, but no play for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a hang on to your nuts type of play here. Cal, how are you feeling about this one, man?
I like North Carolina. I thought it was by far their best performance of the year last week. And at the end of the day, I refuse to bet Florida State. At this point of the year, if there's a play on the sideline for a third and goal, and you can risk yourself, you think anybody on Florida State's going to be laying out to make that play right now? I think there's a lot of business decisions on that team, as we said earlier. I think knowing that they're not going to be making a bowl game, there's going to be endless transition. I mean, we're going to be working on things in practice and lots of stuff for next year, because honestly, this is another year of practice ahead of meaningless games at the end of the day. So I think that I wish the number was a little lower, because I do like the over in this one. I think both offenses are clicking a little bit better. Florida State, again, with that same reason, what do they have to lose? They can air it out, throw in trick plays, do what they want, basically have nothing, at stake, because there is nothing at stake besides playing time. So I do think that maybe leaning the over is not terrible, but would like the UNC side for a couple of those reasons. Mainly, though, tough to take a Florida State team that's down and out for the year.
I don't mind that overthought. I don't mind that overthought at all.
Yeah, 50.5's a little high, but I still think it could get there. I mean, UNC we know can score in spurts when they want to, and Florida State's been a lot more efficient the last couple of weeks, even though it hasn't correlated to points. You've seen it on the field.
It's below the key of 51.
Yes.
I was surprised seeing them open it at a 50.5. Well, not open, but I'm surprised seeing it at a 50.5 here. I honestly feel like they're kind of begging the public to take the under in this one with that 50.5 almost, right?
Yeah, especially
Circa's 51.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they are kind of like trying to force people onto that under, at least we're just looking at it from me.
Yeah, it's definitely tantalizing at that number. My book has now moved Army to 18.5.
Thamel just tweeted it.
I took Army plus 850 as well earlier. It's now 6-1.
Yeah,
there it goes.
Yep, I grabbed Air Force money line as well a little bit
really?
on that. But yeah, Thamel just tweeted it. So Daly is out, and we're seeing it go to 17 at Circa, and the total's crashing 39. It's going to go lower. So hopefully, if you were watching live, you got the news
21
before ESPN's Pete Thamel. So
what the total open at? Was it 41 or 42? What was it originally? I think I saw it at 41.5 yesterday.
I got 41 and 41.5 this morning. So,
okay.
Like while we were on air here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just pulled up. Looks like it peaked at 42 at some point this week.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I love it, man. Definitely, Bob, man. Good snipe on that, bro. Appreciate that.
Yep.
That was awesome, man. Because I sure as shit caught the 21 after you said that, man. And this line is probably going to go down to 17, y'all.
Yep.
So,
Circa's already there. So
love it, dude. Love it. Awesome.
I mean, every minute it'll keep going down because more and more people are waking up, getting to the book, looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to it right now.
Yeah, we caught that at a great number, man. I feel very good about that. All right, next game we got, guys. We're going to keep it pushing here. We got Arizona State taking on Oklahoma State. So in this one, we got Arizona State laying 4.5 points here on the road. You got Oklahoma State coming in as a 4.5 point dog, plus 160 on the money line. Arizona State is a minus 192, and we have a total of 57 in this game locked up on both sides. It looks like I'm going to be going with Arizona State in this one. You know, Oklahoma State's defense, they're just giving up a little too many points for me. Their defense is probably going to struggle here as well with the Arizona State team that is they're averaging about 30 points a game, but I think they're actually going to, I think they're going to air the ball out today. I think they're going to have no problem moving the ball. And that's probably going to really, you know, work in their favor in the end. I'll say that. I can't see them struggling against Oklahoma State's defense. I just can't. Oklahoma State's offense isn't I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not that good. I think Arizona State comes out on top here. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 2.5 points in this one. Well, it's 4.5 now. It was I think it opened at 2.5. But I'll lay the points here regardless. Cal, what you got?
No play. No play. No, not even worth it. I've been so Jekyll and Hyde watching this Oklahoma State team this year, and obviously my bias is to Arizona State, but a lot of questions, and it's a lot of points for the West Coast team traveling out there to unfamiliar territory, and obviously it's always a big deal playing out in Stillwater. I just don't know if I can trust Arizona State enough, but I definitely am at no point right now to put my money on a very, very inconsistent Oklahoma State team right now.
Yep, that's fair. That's definitely fair. Bob.
I bet under 58.5 in the game. One of my more favorite plays of the week, honestly. Sam Levitt coming off an injury. Think that plays into it. And Oklahoma State, Ollie Gordon's banged up as well. I don't trust that offense right now. I think that's why we're seeing some movement on Arizona State as well. Obviously, quarterback up, Ollie Gordon down. Think it could be a kind of a quit situation for the Cowboys here, or after a home run effort against BYU a few weeks back. So I bet under here, under 58.5. I still think it's okay at 57.
All right.
The game time was moved. I had some weather involved in it, so it got pushed back up a couple hours. The Oklahoma Maine game got pushed up a couple hours as well due to weather in the area. So there was a little bit of a weather cap in mind as well, but I still like under.
Which is always a good addition to an under, obviously. Yeah, and you told me that last night because I was going to go ahead and pull a trigger on a game, and you let me know about the weather, so definitely appreciate that. So we got Miss Red in the building. Good morning. Appreciate you being here, girl. All right, let's keep it pushing on this game. I know it's not the the sexiest game of the day. Let's see what we got next. It looks like we're heading to Navy. Navy taking on Rice. I know Bob. I know you got something on this one. I gotta try to find it here. All right, so it's a 4 o'clock game. We got Navy laying 11 points in this game. We got Rice getting 11 points in this game. We got a total of 48 here, locked up on both sides. We got Rice as a pretty big home dog here. Bob, I would love to hear your opinion. I don't really have one on this game. I'm saying points with the home team, but I have been impressed with Navy in quite a few games. So, I mean, I could very, very be easily persuaded on backing Navy here.
I like the under 48 in the game. Bet it earlier in the week at a slightly better number, but I still think it's good here. Blake Horvath, the quarterback for Navy, hurt his thumb last week against Notre Dame. Kind of in relation to another game. I don't think we're talking about today in Indiana, Michigan State, but I really believe how the effect of quarterback thumb injuries, how it affects gripping the ball. I think it takes a long time for them to recover and affects, obviously, the grip. We saw it with Cam Rising in the Utah-Arizona State game earlier this year, where that was just a great live betting opportunity because he was incapable of throwing. So I bet some under here based on that. Rice's quarterback, E.J. Warner, the son of former NFL quarterback Kurt Warner, was out last week in a game against UConn. The backup is quite a downgrade. I don't have any information on who's starting there on that one, but that is a downgrade to the offense. Again, Navy runs an option offense. So potential for two backup quarterbacks in this game. Navy running some clock if they have a downgrade at quarterback, whether he's either not 100% or something else, maybe substitutes out or something. So I bet under 48 in this game. I still think it's good.
The under 48. All right. I love it, man. Callie, you got anything for this Rice game?
No, I would lean Navy, but as you just said, too many questions. I'm more intrigued with seeing what bets I can get in on daily still before they close everything here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm hitting unders on everything I have available right now to see what happens, but only little because it'll be a matter of time. But it's still available on everything, so
Oh yeah, his rushing yards and all that. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I took no touchdown, under rushing yards, like 129 rushing yards. All the alternates are there right now. So we'll see. My local will probably close it in a minute and then text me yelling at me.
Yeah, I did that with KJ Jefferson when he was a surprise sit with UCF a couple weeks ago against, what was that? I think it was a Cincinnati game.
Yeah, right now he's 129 yards still.
Would they not void it?
They will. If he doesn't play a snap, they'll very likely void it. But
it's what you never know. You can't win if you don't try, right?
Sometimes you take a shot.
Facts.
I won't do it with my local, but I'll do it with some of the undisclosed offshore books.
Right. All right, let's move on to the next game. I know, Bob, you got about 10 minutes before you got to get out of here, so I would love to get your opinion on at least as many games as we can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got the Hawaii and Fresno game. So I know this is another game, Bob, you got to play on. So we got Hawaii coming in at a 11.5-point dog here on the road. Fresno State laying 11.5 in this one. We got a total of 46. It's favored to the under here at a -112. There's two things I know in life that I got to do, and that's pay taxes and fade Hawaii on the road. So I am looking at Fresno State here. Is it a game that I'm necessarily in love with? No. But, Fresno State on a 2-game winning streak here. I mean, I still believe that I don't really follow the Mountain West like crazy in college football. But, I would say that these guys are still very much alive in the race for the Mountain West. I mean, they have losses against, it looks like here, they got losses against Michigan, UNLV, Washington State this season. So, I mean, they've have not had, at least from what I see, they have not had a bad loss so far this year. And then you got the Rainbow Warriors. They lost 3 of their last 4, it looks like. They have not won a single road game yet this year. Yeah, give me Fresno here, Bob. What you got for this one?
Another game. I like the under 46. I know that's getting pretty thin right now. In this one, we're seeing some sharper shops go down even further in this game right now. Slightly into Hawaii. You have mentioned Hawaii's weakness or poor performance off the island. Do you think that's a factor here? But I actually have been reasonably impressed with Hawaii's defense. I know some of the numbers aren't fantastic, but I just think they've overperformed in a couple spots against good competition, specifically the Boise game where we only saw them allow 28 points and kind of keep Genty a little bit in check in that one. So I like under here, and then I've continued to think Fresno offensively is just a little bit down and kind of a little bit overrated since the loss of head coach Jeff Tedford over the summer. I think that was a little slightly downgraded in the coaching staff there, so a little more defensive mindset for them. And Fresno also has a good pass D as well, really good secondary.
All right, I love it, man. I'm going to take your word on this one. Callie, how you feeling about Hawaii and Fresno, man?
Yeah, I wish the number was lower because I do like Fresno a lot, but it's just a little bit too high. Like you said, offensive, I wouldn't say struggles. It's just been up and down and consistency, trying to figure out what their identity is. And like you said, Tedford was a huge piece to that. And working with the next level down of talent, you do have to do a lot more coaching when you're, when you're out of Fresno and Hawaii. And I do like what Chang is doing there. I think that, in time they could be something back to normalcy, besides just a air show, gut it all over the place, and hope we can beat you 60-50. But I think tonight is, just a tough one for Hawaii. Like you said, leaving the island is always difficult for them. Just too many points, though. I would look at maybe the under as well. I could see Hawaii struggling offensively against, like you said, what has been a much improved Fresno defense overall playing at home. Could be one of those low-scoring, kind of sleepy Saturday afternoon in Fresno.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, perfect, man. I'm gonna go with you guys on this one on the under here, man. It sounds like you both kind of agree on it, so let's get it. All right, next game we got. I hate that we're going to be skipping a couple of these games at the 7:30 slate here, but we're going to go to one. There we got a few of them here, so we're going to go to the USC and Washington game. So we got USC coming in laying 2 points on the road here, minus 125 on the money line. Going into Washington, Washington's getting 2 points at home here, plus 105 on the money line. We got a total of 55.5. I mean, this is a battle of a couple old Pac-12 teams that, I think, Washington was a team I backed a lot, coming into this year. And I think this team has, honestly, a lot of people won't agree. Some people might. It just is my opinion. I think this team has some of the most potential in the entire country. I love what they have going on in Washington, and we know that this is kind of their year to, I don't know what to call it, maybe a transition year, for Washington, I guess. But this team is much better than what we have seen, I believe. I like this team a lot. I like everything they have going on. We know USC. I mean, they have whatchamacallit. Fish has Steve Belichick running the defense, which is Bill Belichick's son, right? So I mean, this team has so much potential around them. I'm just a big Washington guy. I like them a lot, man. I think they run over USC here, who's honestly a mess right now. They are a mess. I don't know what's going on with Lincoln Riley, but he went from being a NFL talk candidate to being being whatever their recent numbers are, 4-9 in their last 13. I mean, bro, listen, I'm on Washington here. Give me the plus money. USC has to show me. Bob, what you got?
I really like Washington in this game. One of my favorite bets of the day.
Let's go.
So at this number, I'd probably split my bet between 2.5, and some money line. Just based on the number. If I didn't have a position on the game and I was playing it now. You mentioned Washington defensive coordinator Steve Belichick. Well, it affects top 5 pass defense in the country. But another thing with USC, and we've seen this with some Lincoln Riley teams. They've really been affected by depth in the Big Ten, coming over to the Big Ten. Lots of injuries, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Earlier in the season, I thought they've massively upgraded with the defensive coaching staff with Lynn from the UCLA, previously defensive coordinator. But we're just kind of seeing that depth kind of take effects, wear down in the physical Big Ten. You're seeing that defense perform worse and worse each week. So I like the matchup with the Washington secondary. I'm going to hope that they can finally maybe fix some penalties and maybe stop kicking field goals because they can't make them, because Washington's been very bad on the edges. I believe they have one of the bottom 5 special teams units in the country. But I think that's affecting their record and helping this number. I make Washington the small favorite in this game. So I definitely like Washington, one of my favorite bets of the day.
Love it, man. I am absolutely loving that. Callie, how you feeling about this, man? We got USC taking on Washington.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved Washington in spots, and then there's been moments this season where they've just looked awful, and I question what I'm doing. But it's hard to trust USC as well on this side. I mean, USC is like the epitome of stepping up and stepping down to their competition. It feels like this year that when they want to play great, it seems like they can, and feels like another one of those times. Feels like an Oregon State USC game right here, where they go up to Corvallis, play lackadaisical football and get run over. And this game is huge to Washington. I think that when they are on, Washington is incredible. They've looked great, but it's been few and far between for this team. So it's been hard to get that consistency. I do like Washington today, though, at home. We'll look at that number. I do think that we could see some points if this thing gets going early. It wouldn't surprise me if they went back and forth a little bit, but do like Washington overall. Do like the Huskies.
Love it, man. Love to hear it, guys. All right, let's keep it rolling. We got Wisconsin taking on Iowa here. We got Wisconsin coming in as a 2.5 point underdog. Iowa at home laying 2.5 points. The line is moving in favor of Wisconsin here. We got a total of 41.5. You're catching Wisconsin at a plus 120. You're catching Iowa at a minus 142. Both teams come in here tied up, man. This looks like it's going to be a decent game, but it looks like you could probably fall asleep during this game. I would think I like the under here. I see no other way to go. It's hard for me to imagine either of these two teams getting over 21 points. I know if they both hit 21, well, we're in trouble. But give me the under here. I'm taking the under 41.5, man. I have to. The line hasn't budged. Give me the under here. Bob.
I think on the side, it's one of those I would lay 2.5, take 3.5 type games. So I think just 3 is kind of the perfect number. As far as the side goes, I do think Iowa has upgraded at quarterback, going to Brandon Sullivan over Cade McNamara. So I actually do think there is a potential Iowa can score more than maybe we think with that, just because I think that is a multiple point upgrade. But I do respect the Wisconsin defense. I mean, we know pace is going to be on the Iowa side, at least, quite low. I don't love this Wisconsin team. I haven't loved them all year. They had that nice little run a few weeks back where they beat up on some of the dregs in the Big Ten and put up a bunch of points with a backup. But Locke is still a backup quarterback. I'm still not super impressed with him. So no strong opinion here. If water pistol to head, if I got a flat 41, I'd maybe lean over, but just based on the Sullivan upgrade, but not a game I'm playing.
Okay, perfect. Callie, how you feeling about this one, man?
Yeah, like you said, it's two teams that might be going in different directions, but they also just might be back and forth. I mean, Wisconsin, like you said, looked great early. We rode the Wisconsin train for a while because, quite frankly, you look at who they were playing and they just had great matchups and better situations. And it's not about your schedule till you're playing right now. And you look at week by week and try to find who's playing great today versus who should be playing great today. So all Florida State every week, but it's one of those games where does Wisconsin get themselves back on track against what is an improved Iowa offense, and obviously playing in Ames is always tough, so will be difficult. But again, Wisconsin's defense, if they have something solid and can figure out what they're doing scheme wise, I think that we big shocker 41.5 is probably going to be another defensive struggle, and wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I do have a strong opinion. My strongest play is on this game, so that's as much as I can go into.
Okay, perfect. Say no more, man. All right, let's keep it moving. Guys, I am having problems going on Twitter for some reason. I can't connect us to Twitter. I have no idea what's going on. It just keeps coming up saying an error has occurred. But the show's almost over anyway, but we're only live on YouTube right now, which sucks. So we had over 100 people in here that all just got kicked out. I have no idea what's going on. But thank God the show's almost over. Let's get this finished. I know Bob, you got to go.
I can stay throughout. I just got it pushed back a second ago, so
cool.
I'm good.
All right, cool.
We still only got 3 games left.
Yeah, right. So we got Pittsburgh up next. We got Pitt taking on SMU. Pitt is getting 7 points here. SMU is laying 7. We got a total of 56 in this game. It is slightly favored to the over. We got Pitt at a plus 230, SMU at a minus 285 in this one. This is one of my favorite plays on the board today. I love SMU today. I think they absolutely steamroll Pitt. We go to the ACC where, we have both teams, I would say, are playoff contenders at the least. Pitt, they're running a perfect schedule right now. Okay, running a perfect schedule. SMU losing to BYU in the beginning of the year, which obviously now does not look like a bad loss at all. Okay, because we know what this BYU team is all about now. And SMU is in a good spot for an absolute blowout. This is a huge game. If SMU wins, honestly, guys, if SMU wins this game, I feel like they will go undefeated in the ACC. I mean, if you look, they got BC, Virginia, Cal left, right? So Pitt has not played anyone at all. And I just feel like they should lose this game by double digits. I love SMU today. It's one of my stronger plays on the board. Bob, how you feeling about Pitt and SMU, man?
Fascinating handicap here, and I think it's a perfect lesson in terms of how turnovers can change perception of two games. And I think both these teams are great examples of that with their games last week. Pittsburgh had not one, not two, but three pick sixes in the first half against Syracuse, and Syracuse's Kyle McCord had a 41-17 win. So obviously that's 21 points off turnovers right there. Changes the whole game script in this game as well. So the Pittsburgh offense with limited possessions, quite frankly, didn't do much against a Syracuse defense I don't love. Meanwhile, SMU also did something historic. They beat Duke 28-27 in overtime, and you're like, it's not an impressive game. Well, they were down a couple of their pass catchers, as they will be today as well. But they lost the turnover battle 6-0 in that game against Duke. Teams don't win when they lose the turnover battle, let alone when they lose it 6-0. I make the game 7.83 in the game, so I like SMU a bit. I do think I'm a little concerned about SMU losing stud tight end RJ Maryland to an injury on that. So I still need SMU plus or -7, I should say. I got it below 7 earlier in the week, but I also like, again, the under 56.5. Both quarterbacks are banged up. Eli a little bit. Think that could affect Jennings in the run game for SMU. Pittsburgh's offense has been downturning in conference play a little bit, although Pitt quarterback Eli Holsting, 14 turnover-worthy plays this season, only 5 picks. So that turnover regression for Pittsburgh, I mentioned with those pick sixes, could rear its ugly head here. So give me the Mustangs, give me the under here.
All right, all right. I love it, man. Great breakdown, bro. Great breakdown. Callie, what you got for us, man?
My initial lean was Pitt, but I had too many reasons, too many questions, and too many concerns, quite frankly, to trust them with SMU, who can score in bunches. Pitt has shown at times that they do struggle and want to go backwards. So it was too much for me to take. Had it gotten maybe a little bit higher, I'd have given it a little more thought, but made it onto the initial board and then clipped it off once it didn't get past that number.
All right, perfect, man, perfect. Let's keep it moving. We got 2 more games, and we'll get you guys up out of here. We got TCU taking on Baylor today. We got TCU coming in, getting 3 points in this game, heading to Baylor, laying 3 points. We got a total of 63, locked up on both sides at a -110. TCU is at a +124, where Baylor is at a -148 on the money line. One thing I see in this game, and one thing really only, and that is the over. I think we are going to see a lot of points in this game. I really, Baylor's averaging almost 35 points a game. TCU is averaging around 33 points a game. These both are teams that have good quarterbacks. I feel like playing like heading into this game, both quarterbacks are playing well. All right, and this game should be honestly a quarterback battle. This should be a back and forth game of just matching touchdowns. I can see this being higher scoring. Give me the over in this one, man. I do want to look towards some passing yards. I'm trying to look up. Trying to look them up now. I just Let me see here. I don't know why I'm not getting them. Bob, you got anything for this? When I find them, I'll let you know. But I'm not getting them on this game.
Yeah, this was the game that we discussed last night, where there's some potential weather in Waco with this one. So I don't have anything on it, side or total. I actually do make the game a little bit less than 3, so a little bit just pure number edge to TCU. And I have enjoyed taking some of these Big 12 dogs, just with how the quality of that league is very, very compressed in that. So I do think there's some overrated home field here. This is a quite rivalry game too, by the way.
Yeah.
So perfect weather conditions. I would agree with your over. I'm gonna wait. I'd wait it out. See the weather. There's some potential wind right at the line of when wind starts to affect passing yards, affects the totals in games. I'd monitor this one. This was one of the later kicks in the day. So monitor weather situation. Pay attention to the market. If it starts to the weather's starting to clear up, I do think we'll see some over money come in. If the weather continues to get worse, I think we'll see some under money kind of come into the market, and maybe best to wait on this one and kind of get the information. If you like over, and despite the weather, wait, you might get a better number later, etc. So that's my only analysis for this game.
Yep, 100%, Bob. This is exactly, you're right. This was the game that you reminded me of the weather on, so I appreciate you for once again reminding me, because I forgot that this was the game.
I agree with
Callie,
you in perfect weather.
yeah, right. Callie, what you got, man?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. All right, we got one more game left, guys. And it looks like we're back live on Twitter again. So at least that's good. I don't know what just happened, but it literally kicked us off, and now we're back live again. All right. We got Colorado State taking on Nevada for our last game of the night. Guys, we don't have to stay up until 1 a.m. watching college football today. I think the reasoning for this personally was because I think they thought we were going up against the World Series and all the other stuff that's going on. We got a ton of NBA. We got a ton of NHL. I'm probably going to do another show after this one for the NHL. But let's get this one over with first before we talk about another one. We got Colorado State taking on Nevada here. Colorado State's laying 2.5 points. Nevada's getting 2.5 points. We got a total of 45.5 in this game, locked up on both sides. Colorado State minus 135, Nevada plus 114. Tough game for me. I'm not going to lie. This is a tough game for me. Not in love with either one of these teams. There's obvious money coming in on Colorado State here. The line should be at a pick 'em, in my opinion. And it's moving, just keeps moving in Colorado State's favor, which I think is a I mean, not Colorado State. It's moving in
No, it
well,
is.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. I am going to go with Colorado State here. I don't trust the Wolfpack to really. I just don't trust them in general. Their offense is not great. I don't really follow both of these teams much, but I just can't do it. Now, Colorado State is undefeated in conference. So that does kind of, make me lean pretty heavy towards them here. But they haven't played anyone good in their conference. But are they really playing someone good now? I mean, don't get me wrong, Nevada, they're not. They're just not, man. They're not good. I don't know. How do you feel, Bob? I'm back in Colorado State here, guys, but it's not my strongest play at all.
My number on the game is Nevada minus 1.78. So I would lean a little bit towards the Nevada side. However, I know quarterback Brandon Lewis missed last week's game against Hawaii. That was why that game took so much under money and didn't come home to my chagrin last week. But I have been impressed with Nevada. I don't think any team in the country has faced a bigger coaching upgrade from year to year than the Wolfpack. I don't think Colorado State's any good, quite frankly, especially now losing wide receiver Torrey Horton, who's going to be an NFL player. We're going to see him on Sundays coming up, and he's out for the year. Quarterback for them, forgetting his name right now, but He's very high variance, turnover worthy plays galore for him. However, what would keep me off the Nevada side in this game, they have like 6 starters that got banged up in that Hawaii game, some of them on the defensive end. So that's why I think we've seen that movement towards the Rams in this one. So it's going to be something that I'm going to be watching, following Twitter for some pregame warm-up information and whatnot for in Reno, and see if I get anything. And if so, I'm going to consider betting the Wolfpack here, maybe closer to post, or maybe if we get a flat 3 in that game. So that's where I'm looking there, but it's information dependent, which we don't have right now, and it's actually one of the later kickoffs today. So,
Yep, absolutely is. So you got plenty of time to, figure it out on this one, man. I'm probably not going to go near this game because we'll have plenty of NBA to look at, hockey. I'm probably not touching it, but we'll see what it comes down to. Callie, how you feeling about Colorado State and Nevada?
Not great, quite frankly. I don't have faith in either of these two teams. One thing I will say, though, being close by, it is getting colder by the minute here. Low 30s tonight, getting closer to snow season here. So, your body's definitely adjusting to what is now becoming winter real quickly here over the last basically week. I mean, it was 105 degrees here in the Bay and like 100 plus up in Tahoe, 2 weeks ago. And now it's, 30s and 40s already. So something to think about weather-wise. It is getting definitely colder, and it doesn't always have a big effect, but it can have a little bit later in the game as these guys get those hits start adding up a little more when it's a little colder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wasn't that Nevada SMU game to start the year week 1? Wasn't that like a kind of a really cold game, and it was kind of sloppy early? Yep. If I remember right, like it was randomly cold in Reno that night.
Okay. Yep, it'll happen. Reno's a really interesting place too, and right now it's calm, but it can get. I mean, I was just up there recently, and I mean, it blew. No joke, it blew a drink out of my hand into my other hand walking through the parking garage.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was like,
maybe it sounds like you're a better receiver than some of the Nevada guys. Maybe you can get out there and do something.
If we didn't run an option offense in high school, I was going to play football, but I wanted to play wide receiver. I'm sure as hell wasn't going to go out and block all day, so I stuck to baseball, and it worked out all right. So.
All right, man. Perfect, guys. All right, let's get the show over with, man. This was a great show. I love the fucking vibe between us today, man. It was awesome. I think we gave out some very good picks today on a very tough card. So now it comes to the point in the show where we give out our best bets. I will start with myself here. I'm going to give you guys, I think you already know where I'm going with this one. I'm going to give you guys SMU here, laying the points as my best bet in this one. Like I said, I can see SMU winning this game by 10 points or more. So lay the 6.5 with SMU today as my best bet. Callie, what do you got for us, man? What is your best bet of the day?
Best bet of the day today is
not your max winner neither. Let people buy that.
I mean, there's a couple spots that I do really like today, but I will say, best bet of the day on here, South Carolina +3 at home with Texas A&M. A couple plays go differently. I think this line would be very different. So I think there's some skew with what a record is versus what a true result is. So I think Gamecocks today hang around. I'd look at them maybe money line, but I do like the +3. So best bet today on the show will be Go Cox +3.
Love
it, man. Love it. Bob Digital, what you got, man?
I can't restrict myself to just one. I actually did have South Carolina written down on that. So we'll agree there on South Carolina. Also, I'll give out Washington +2. We'll go with that Rice total under 48 in that one. And the one game we didn't talk about today, give me Troy +4 against Coastal Carolina. And then, of course, if you were watching live, hopefully the true best bet of the day was watching live Army or Air Force +21.5 or 21 live we won't count that for anything. But if you got that, that was the real best bet we're going to give out on the show today. But Troy, South Carolina, Washington, and then Rice under the 48 for me.
Man, absolutely love it, dude. Absolutely love it. I'm probably going to build something together with the best bets that we just gave on the show. So I really do appreciate you guys. This was an extremely tough card for us to navigate. I can't wait to see the outcome of how we did today on today's games, because this was a tough card to navigate today, but I think we knocked it out of the park. Bob, I want to start with you. Can you tell everyone where they can find you, and if you have any way for people to either buy your picks or any kind of service you run, please, now's the time to let them know where to follow you and how to get access to them, please.
No service for me. I'm just a bettor who likes talking college football. So follow me on Twitter, right below at Bobby Digital 2. Always interested in talking college football, talking games. We're going to get into college basketball here next week as well. I do that as well. So that's it on Twitter at Bobby Digital 2. I also appear on Tenement TV doing a weekly college football preview. So that's the only thing I do. Nothing to promote, nowhere to buy my picks. Just hang out and talk.
Love it, man. Guys, as you guys all heard today, you've heard him multiple times on Plug Talk, Wolf Sports, Tenement TV.
Yes,
Bob is a damn gem, man. He is he's well put together when it comes to giving his analysis on games. Love listening to him, man. And Bob, you definitely have a knack for breaking down college football, man. I cannot wait. I have to get you on here for college basketball, dude. I am excited about it. So super excited about it.
sure.
Let's go to Callie. Callie, you got I know you said you got a couple big things going on today. Can you let everyone know how they can get your max play today, and obviously where to find you, and how to follow you?
Yeah, obviously all the major networks. You can find me on Twitter at California Wager, Instagram, TikTok, all the fun socials. But yeah, obviously I do have a paywall, but I put out multiple free plays every day. I try to come on and give lots of free content and try to not only help kind of younger but newer and cappers that aren't always on the mainstream that deserve more eyeballs, like like Bobby and like Plug. And I've been doing this for a few years now, and quite a few as a capper on my own, and it's a wild world out here on Twitter. So I try to keep it pretty honest and pretty real. And yeah, I have a max play today. I have a dub club account. I've had it for like 5 years and been with those guys since I met them, and lots of feelings on that company. But hey, you know what? Consistency is consistency, and you trust those guys that and it is what it is. It's been a great place. And a great offer though I have running is if you buy the max play today, include everything else I have. You can reach out to me on Twitter if you want to. I'm also running, if you get November, you will grab December 100% free. So those are some simple offers, and by all means, always happy to work with anybody. I know everybody's in different financial situations, and some of us are $1,000 unit guys, some of us are $10 unit guys. That's totally fine. Your unit is your unit, and all we're trying to do is get you guys the best value and consistency. And whether it's a hobby or an obsession like us, we want you to do it the right way, because I don't think that there's enough honesty and transparency and reality with this market. So I think that I really want to be somebody like you guys that respects it and respects your guys' coin, because that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yep, absolutely, man. If you guys, man, I highly advise y'all to go grab California Wagers Max Play. If you guys want to play that you can just absolutely slam and feel confident in, when Cali Wagers says he has a max play, rather it be KBO, baseball, it doesn't matter. I blindly tail it every single time, and I'll just say I'm up a pretty good amount of money. So. All right, down to me. You guys know where to find me, man. TheOutletSV.com. You can find everything you need to find on our website. You can find our VIP options. You can find our free articles. You can find access to the Discord. I mean, it's all right there on the homepage. access to our YouTube. The show is updated on our website every single day, right on the homepage. We got our featured article. As soon as you log on, it's our best article of the day, is always featured on the website. I will be adding the Jackson AI bots to the website as well. It's from Pine Sports. This thing is incredible. I have never seen an AI as advanced when it comes to sports betting as this Jackson AI is for Pine Sports. So shout out Pine Sports, bro. You guys did an amazing job. I won't even tell you guys the amount of money they sunk into this thing because it's ridiculous, but it definitely is incredible. So you guys can I have a link for it. You can get 50% off if you guys want the link for it. Hit me up. It literally, you can build your own algorithms, your own models, and it's all you building it. He just puts it together, or the bot, whatever, puts it together, and it does way more than that. It's insane, absolutely insane, man. But you guys know where to find me, man. Go to the outletsv.com for any questions or anything you need. Just reach out. I'll be happy to answer. Bob, Callie, absolute pleasure, bro. I appreciate you guys. I know you came on last minute, and it means a lot to me. Thank you guys. Um, Love talking sports with you guys, man. I think we made our listeners a lot of money today, so I can't wait to see the outcome. Everyone tuning in, thank you guys. We're going to be on Plug Talk tomorrow at 10 o'clock, NFL Football Sunday. Bob, Callie, you both are welcome. We'll also have Snow back on tomorrow. She's going to join us for NFL Sunday, so I'm excited about having her back on as well. And like I said, you both are welcome if you want to join. Just send me a DM, let me know. And yeah, you guys got any final thoughts?
Best of luck to everyone today.
All right, perfect, man. Callie?
NFL's tomorrow. Don't blow your whole bankroll today. There might be a bunch of games, but I'm no
Facts.
fun. I'm no fun. I'm like the voice. I'm an old, angry, grumpy old fart.
Hey, some
I
people
agree.
need to hear it, man.
You're right.
Some people need to hear it. I mean, have you guys seen? We just talked college football today. Okay, go look at the NBA and NHL slate. I mean, dude,
Nope.
yeah, it's monstrous. So good.
Before you put that 17 team parlay in,
Yeah, shoot, you
take
think
go
about.
like I
Or
always say. Have you touched grass today?
Yeah.
or just don't do that.
Yeah, or just don't do that. But it's a
All
free
right, man.
play.
Yeah,
Please don't.
before you guys bet them, I call them mutated octopuses. That's what I call them. Because I see them, or my mom's Target receipt.
Oh my god!
Because that's
Forget
what they
Target.
look
It's
like.
like what CVS is the one that goes for.
Right,
Yeah,
CVS's
forever.
receipt.
There's
There
like
you
a
go.
tree coming out with it.
All right, guys. I appreciate you both, man. Good luck with all your bets today, guys. Make sure you guys are following both of these guys, man. I'm telling you, they both are extremely knowledgeable, just not in college football, but in everything. So appreciate you both, guys. Plug Talk out. Have a great day. You guys already know the deal, man. Let's make today a winning one.